Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with yet another episode of Quilt Bingo, and today we're covering florals. Now, some of you are probably wondering how I picked my which one we're working on next. I have crazy sided dice. Like there's out of here, there's one with a 6-sided dice, and the rest are all these different dies, and so this is how we're picking our patterns through dice. But this is what we're working on today. We're doing florals, and yes, you're going to find the PDFs for the beginner, the intermediate, and the hard. Now there's 3 different PDFs, so you can work at your own skill level. Or you can work at the one above, or you can do all 3. Or if you're an expert, you have 15 minutes in your sewing room and you want to work on the beginner one, do it. That works too. I know life gets crazy and we can't do it all, but we're going to try our best and have some fun. But first, let's get to our shout out. It is July 18th when we are filming this, and we have just gotten kittens, so there's going to be meowing and scampering and all this kind of thing in the next videos, and I'm really sorry if you find it distracting. So Dixie Quilters, so their YouTube channel is going to be in our show notes below. Go check them out and tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Give them some words of encouragement and love. Also, share, like, and subscribe, and make comments on our channel, because making comments and sharing and liking all this, like thumbs up and the bell hit, all this all helps our analytics and helps move our videos forward so we can continue bringing you fun free patterns. Also, we have a Facebook group in the show notes below, so if you're part of the Facebook community, please come and join. We have numerous community chats, fabric exchanges by country to save on postage, and we have a Discord room that is set up dedicated just for our Facebook group members, right? So we have a lot of fun in that room. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds or quilting groups, and I talk about elements of design. I have charity quilts and working with scraps, but I'm also coming up with a new speaking engagement, and it's going to be ready on December 2025. So if you guys have already heard from me and you want to hear again, you know, this is the time you come and book me for after December for the other speaking engagement. Also, shout outs. If you guys find out shout outs are new channels or smaller channels that need help, or somebody is having a lot of fun on their channel, give me their name and their YouTube handle, and maybe send the link, because I'm kind of it's hard for me sometimes to do research on channels. So if you can send me the link, that would be great. Either send it to me on the email under About tab, same for the speaking engagements, or message me through Facebook, because that's the fastest way to get a hold of me, and I would be happy to give them a shout out as well. Also, Quilt Bingo started August 21st or 27th. I'm not sure when this video will drop, but I mean, if you want to have other fun skill builders, this is like block 4 or 5 that we're working on. So it's going to be a good skill builder, right? Also, the Zoom sew dates are in the show notes below from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's the first Saturday of every month from now until December, because we are having so much fun with those Zoom sew dates. So I think we're done. Yes, so come on in. We're gonna start on English rows. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. So what we're gonna do first is these half square triangles, because people have probably the most problems with them. And I gave you the cutting instructions for the very traditional way, so hopefully you won't, have to run into too much problems. So we'll do all the dark blues first. Okay. Here. Yeah, this one is just, when I saw these, I was like, okay, this one's simple enough. Everybody can cut different things, and you learn different things as you cut, right? So now you have this just like so. There. And half square, this one talks about using a lot of half square triangles to make up the little design, and that's kind of important when you're doing this, to play around with this the right way. Oops. And I picked two blues that were very similar because I didn't quite have enough of this blue and I didn't quite have enough of that blue. And I was like, okay, so I can play around with this. I can do blues. I can do all sorts of different things. So I also put in things, don't forget to put in things like plaid, right? Plaids and polka dots in here, because I think those are, add different textures. You want, when you're doing a scrappy quilt like this, having lots of different textures is very important. And we forget to do that sometimes, because the next thing you know, you've got an entire quilt made out of florals. This is why I still buy fabric. If I don't get plaids, I have to go buy bundles with lots of plaids or go shopping just for plaids. Or if I don't get stripes in my donations, you know, like you need a certain amount of stripes, you know, when you're doing stuff too, right? So yeah, it starts to take, I get usually a lot of florals or botanicals. Like this is a floral. This is just a graphic print. I would classify that as a print. This works as the polka dot. Oops. Print. And I lost. It lost its. Come on, go in. There we go. Now, these 2 by 2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is get all of those half square triangles, these little ones, because they're the hardest ones to work with, because they're tinier piecing, right? You know, everybody like, okay. So we want to do this, and we want to press to the dark, so it goes like this, and like this. There we go. Now, we want this kind of a motif going on, and the same with this, right? So let's get that back up there so you see what's going on here. Because if you sew them the wrong way, it's not like it's horrible. Oh, wait a minute, I did turn it the wrong way. Okay, if I can do this backwards, you know, so can you, right? So be careful as you're doing this backwards. Let me just put this the right way. Hang on. This goes like this, and like this. That's what that looks like. And this goes like this. Oops, like this. Right? So now we want to take these 3 and put them out. So let me just get these off. Get all of these off here too, because that would be, it doesn't matter which half square triangle units, subunits we work. We're always going to be pressing to the dark on this. This is a great little scrap buster. This one, because all your florals can be, this pattern is traditionally called English Rose. And you can do all sorts of fun little things with this. Just like that. There we go. Oops, 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 come back. And just like that. I think that plaid looks just perfect with that floral. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to sew this on first, and I want to line up the square edge here, and I'm going to sew here. Okay, so here. There, cut this off. And just give it a quick finger press. Yes, I do a lot of finger pressing. And I want this to line up just like so, and sew it here. There we go. Now, okay, so I open this up, and again press to the dark, because you don't want that dark blue showing through. And you're going to lay it back down, and you're going to see where the next one goes. Just like so. Okay, press to the dark. So you just want that like so. And then you're going to press sew along here. Yeah. Anyways, we got kittens, Ollie and Giles. And just, oh my goodness. They'll be fun, he said. They're actually very cute. They're just adorable. But they're, you know, they're furry little beasts. So now with this, I'm going to pick this whole triangle and whatnot on. I'm going to pick it all up. And I'm going to line up this edge as best I can. And make sure all this fabric is going the right way it needs to go. Because that would be good. That goes pressed to the dark. And that's our next piece right there. Oops. Yeah, this goes up like this. And just out like this. There we go. Okay, and this goes like this. You're going to line that up and flip it the other way. And there we go. Now, okay, so now I'm going to press to the dark again. Now these units are opposite directions. Here, let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Hang on, I'll show you. Because they're opposites. They're mirror images. And mirror images are a perfect way to get this result. Hang on. Just clip this and this off and press to the dark. And I'll show you what I mean by mirror images. So, okay, just like that. So one side goes up against this triangle and the other side goes up against this triangle. But they are definitely mirrored images, right? Like, so it's, this is the confusing part of this block, but don't stress. Don't like get crazy about this and go, oh my God, I can't make this work. Yes, you can. You can do this. It's okay. You are able to do this. Now I do have one side with the triangles. It's a little longer than the others. So I'm going to try and ease this block in. And of course I should probably be going from this end. Because easing in, you could also just, you know, square up, make sure your blocks are perfect, right? I mean, so you got to ease in this triangle here. Because they gave you the traditional cutting methods. Okay. And I keep lining up the points, right? And I just let the feed dogs do the work and line up all of that. Right, now press to the dark. Okay, here. Okay, now I'm going to show you again. One more. One side will be longer than the other. So you put bigger on the bottom. You put bigger on the bottom, which is this one. So it's the one with all the pieces. You put it in the bottom and you get it started. You know, like, you know, half an inch in. Okay, and you hold it. Then what you're going to do is you're lining up the other end and you're grabbing it somewhere in the middle, okay, which is going to help you ease in as much of this excess as possible. Okay. So this is what this block teaches you. Easing in, and or what you can do is you can simply make sure that you cut and trim all of your pieces that you've just sewn together. Make sure you cut them and trim them the right size. Now this block here should measure 6.5 when it's done. And I'm just going to, again, press to the dark. Press to the dark because that's important. That we press to the dark. And there's a little distortion, but you know, once you quilt it and you get it all done, it's not going to look half bad. Now I'm just going to get the other, there we go. There. And take this out. Oh. And this. Okay, I trim mine a little bit steeper, not at a 90-degree angle. I trim a little bit steeper because I can. And this becomes this, right? So there you are with this block so far. And this should measure 6.5, right? And you can trim if you need to. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this off. I have leader and enders here, but for some reason I don't. Okay. So, press to the dark, and we're going to take just this and move it here. Just this piece. And we're going to web this together, because webbing is another thing you need to learn how to do. And we're just going to sew all of this together, just like a little uneven 4-patch. Because webbing is a good thing to learn how to do. And then this goes like this. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, push that there. Okay, now. So then we open this up and we're going to, okay, this side is going up, this side is going down, right? So we want it towards the square, and this is going this way, towards the square. And now they will nest. Right there in this line here, that's where they're going to nest. So let's get this started here. There we go. And here we go. There. Now, okay. So I'm just going to push away from the yellow. There. Now I've got 3 out of 4 of these done now, right? But I should I'll just finish this one. We'll just finish this one here. Now, this is a 2.5-inch strip. So you want to start down a ways, right? Before you go too crazy, right? You want to start down a ways from it. Now I just took, I gave you cutting instructions for this, but you can make this whatever width you want. I made mine 2.5 and then I oversized my triangles because I could. I can do that. I'm allowed. And then you just trim them to whatever size you want. Now, if you wanted to do a 6.5-inch triangle, what you do is you'd cut a 6.5-inch strip and then a 1-inch strip. But I thought a 1-inch strip was probably too skinny for this baby. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press out for now, because this will help me line up where I need to be. So you kind of judge this. This, you know, has to be kind of in the same spot, like you have the same overage on both of these, and that's where you sew. That's where you sew it down. There. Now, there we go. Nice. There. And now I would like to press this in because I think this dark blue is going to pop through the color, the white or the low volume. I am having fun digging through my yardage and my low volumes and to find some fun fabric to play with. And it's kind of nice to do this every once in a while. It's kind of a treat, you know? It's kind of a nice treat to go digging through. If you don't dig through your yardage, your scraps get used up and your yardage now ages, right? So now this is much bigger than it needs to be. So you kind of want to center this through, and I'm just going to stand up and hopefully not hit the camera and not get in your way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to stand up and I'm going to trim off. Just, can you see me? There we go. I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'm just going to trim off that extra bit, and now I've got a little 6.5 inch ruler, so it's just perfect for this task. Oops, and there we go. Take that out of the way. Okay, so now I've got a 6.5 inch piece, and that piece fits right in there. But you know what? The reality is, if I'm going to square up this piece, I should square them all up and make sure that they're all going to be okay. Now I want to do my best here where I can. And some of these just are not lining up very well. Oh dear. Oh well. You know, you do what you can. You do what you can. This got distorted somehow, but that's okay. There. And now you give it a spin and you line this up the best you can. There we go. You can take off that little bit. So it's not much. It does throw it out a bit. That's, you know, the traditional method. You should have taken the time to square up these two pieces and then all of this. And, ugh, it's just like... And really, for what you're cutting off here, is it worth it? There we go. Take that little piece and that little piece. And there's just a little bit of thread here that didn't come. Okay, so we lay that back down, lay that all back down, and there we go. And I don't think there's anything on that side yet. Oh, there's nothing on that side. Okay, so oops, so we put it back like this, so it's gonna look like, you know, what we started. And this one. And what have I got to trim here? Not a lot. Oh wow, not hardly anything. Well, nope. Oh, I got dust on that side. And I think that's it. I think that's all there was dust. Yeah, because there's nothing here. Okay, so we're done trimming. That didn't take long. And trimming does help your blocks go together better. So that's something too, right? Like, I mean, this is, all this is, you know, is putting little pieces together. This could have been made easier too, but I wanted some depth with it. I wanted the stem to show up. So now we're just going to web it together like a 4-patch. Just like a 4-patch. Very simple. Very quick. You can take these if you don't want to play quilt bingo and you just wanted to play with, you know, the blocks that we're creating and make quilts. You can. Most certainly you can. And, you know, any of the intermediate and hard ones too, you can take and make quilts out of They are a little harder, but they're beautiful when they're done. Like, just some really lovely patterns that are there. There we go. Line this up at the bottom. There we go. Come on, fit under. There we go. Nice. Okay. And now we open this up just like that. And I'm going to push this under like so, because I'm pressing away from the dark here, and I'm pressing this way. Okay. There we go, just like that. And so now they're going to nest right perfectly in the middle. Get that out of the way and take our time lining this baby up. Just, whew, okay. Okay, give that a little clip, and then we're just going to make sure we're finger pinning it so that it nests perfectly, because we'd like a really sharp, nice nest point. And there we go. Just like that. Now, because we are able to nest it, hang on, let me get this out. Here's the pressing plan. Basically, press to the dark. As much of this as you can, press it to the dark. Yes, I'm going to take it, I'm going to give it a good press. Here, I could have opened my seams, but I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I'll pop the seam open. Oh, it won't pop. It won't pop, so we'll try it again. Try one more time. Popping it open, just so that we can get it to lie just a hair flatter. And sometimes, because I stitch with such so many stitches per inch, I just because I prefer the look of that, you know, 25 to 30 stitches an inch, and I also do a lot of foundation paper piecing. I prefer that look. So here, all of a sudden, this comes together just like a little four patch right there, nice and flat. And you can take this now. Look at how this one's going this way, this one's going this way. In order to make it swirl, these have to lie this way. And so we're going to open our stitches right here, just like that. Just like that. And we're, oops, get this string off. And it just sits nice and swirled and flat. So let me give this a good press, make sure all my seams are going the right way so it lies nice and flat, and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here's our beginner English rose. Now, yes, you had some challenges. You needed to square up your blocks, but it worked. Everything worked out really great. We put in a lot of different fun textures. The plaid just works out great. And we had two dark blues, because the dark blues, I didn't have enough dark blue to do one or the other, so I had to throw both of them in. But that's working with scraps. And they look fun. It just looks fun. So this one is definitely beginner and very fun, very quick. This one is the Peony, and this one block is on point. Now this is the intermediate. You do have some fun shapes to play around with, right? So I give you the cutting instructions for these, you know, longer pieces, and then to sew them together, then trim to. These ones you do have some Y seams. It's hard to find floral blocks without Y seams in them. So there's 3 easy ones. Because the pieces are bigger, it's not going to be that hard to do. But this is just such a fun, cool, quick little block. We did have some fun with it, and we did have some fun getting plaids out and all these crazy yellows with all the reds and blues in it. So, and we did find some really funky blue for the leaves of the peony. Now this one is called Lily Wreath, and when I went hunting through the Barbara Backlund book, I was like, oh, I want to do this one. This one is just gorgeous. This one does have a lot more wide seams, a lot more tiny piecing. I did give you templates to work with instead, because I feared the templates were a little easier on the hard piecing. But this block came together like a dream. And I actually hand sewed the outer edges because it was nice to be able to sit and do something and get all unstressed, because that's where my happy place is. So I do hope you're trying these blocks. They were a lot of fun to come up with. I mean, you know, we do have some bright fun fabrics going on here, and these blocks are all going to go into charity quilts. I haven't decided whether they're going to go into 3 couch throws or 2 twin size quilts, or what we're going to do with it, but they will be going into charity quilts. So I hope you are having an absolutely wonderful week ahead, and your 1/4 inch seam is absolutely perfect. So you guys stay well and take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.